My Gavan and Melanine, and well met indeed. I'm Adrian, God of Earth, and welcome back to Middle-earth as we continue on as the Woodland realm. Now, I'm afraid this introduction is going to be a little lengthier than normal, or a little bit more talkative, before we dive into the actual action. So first of all, apologies that the video is a little later. There were various issues surrounding setting up my new 3-screen setup that took me almost all day to sort out on Monday, so I was not able to record. So the videos come at a little later time. Additionally, something that I tend to actually not think I should address because I think people wouldn't notice if I mentioned it, but I am now using a brand new microphone and a new setup for it. This is just another Blue Yeti. This is a Blue Yeti X, in fact, and they haven't paid me for it or anything. I bought it myself, but I'm using their microphone, and this one comes with its own sort of software that allows you to tweak the settings separately. So I've played around with this one an awful lot, and I'm very happy with the outcome that I've now got. But do let me know if you think this one is 10 times worse. But ideally, it really shouldn't be. But I thought I would mention it just so that you can all listen out for that, because you all can all be better judges than me listening on my own. The other point I wanted to make is a bit more grander and relates to the Woodland realm. I'm having a blast with the Woodland realm, and I hope that you're enjoying watching me play as them. Obviously, Haldir has just started to get some of our elites out, and I'm very grateful for that. But something that I did think the other day is that very soon the campaign is going to be almost solely against Mordor. So at the moment we are besieged, unfortunately, back in Dane's halls, which is now ours, and Gundabad have come back for it. But this is very much Gundabad's last gasp. And once they have fallen with these two main armies they've got here, it's only really 2 banner armies if you add all of these 4 armies that you can see on screen together. But anyway, once they're all dealt with, Gundabad is essentially out. They've only got Gundabad and the region up here, which I can't remember the name of, Berserkle maybe. Those are really their only 2 remaining regions. This area is held by Angmar, who are on the decline actually, but nevertheless this is not Gundabad's territory. So Gundabad are right up against it. They're going to die. And when they do, our main focus will turn to Mordor, because of course our victory conditions are to hold 20 regions. We hold 14, so we only need 6 more, and we're going to get 3 of those, or 2, if not 3, from Gundabad. And then we'll easily get those before we've beaten Mordor. But we must defeat Mordor. So my point to you is, to the wider universe, if you would please comment down below, or please look down below first, and if someone has commented something you agree with, just like their comment. You don't need to add your own. But would you like me to then open it up and do a faction vote after Gundabad has died, so that the fight against Mordor is restricted to a single campaign? Because if we continue on in this way, of course, the Ardenaim campaign is now very much going to be Mordor-centric for a long time. Do we want 2 campaigns where our chief adversary is Mordor? Personally, I'm not really sure. Now, I'm happy to fight Mordor, don't get me wrong. I'm really enjoying this campaign, and I would happily continue it till we have defeated them. But I'd open it up to all of you, because, of course, fundamentally, you're all the ones watching. And as I'm enjoying whether we continue this or whether we do a no one, I will enjoy either. So my opinion in this instance isn't really of relevance. So it's really what you would like to see. Now, to inform your decisions, no substantial work has gone into the mod since either my Ardenaim or my Woodland Realm campaign has started. So there is nothing new to show you. So the Reunited Kingdom cannot start because it is not ready yet. And I don't want to do the arcade till it's really fully done, or at least at a point where you can really properly play it. So the arcade is not ready yet. Dunland is the next one that seems to be set up to be getting ready, but I'm not really bothered about Dunland. We played Ennard Wyeth not a long time ago, and whilst of course they are different nations, I will stand by that before we offend any Dunlendings out there, but they have very similarly played campaigns, so I'm not looking to play Dunland if I can help it. So that's my question to you all, for those of you that have endured the 4-minute intro, sorry. You please comment down below as to whether you think once Gundabad is dead, because we will defeat Gundabad, once Gundabad is dead, should we do a new campaign? Please let me know. Right, so in the actual last episode of this campaign, of course, we were unfortunately kicked out of Mordor's northern bounds, which is where we are now coming for. So Haldir, at the head of what remains of our army, is going to go back and get Dor Norhak. You'll note Dantalad doesn't really have any forces, but Mordor is chucking a lot of stuff at us. And all the while, of course, we're waiting for Mardash to assault the walls of Dane's halls, where Legolas and Thranduil, the father-son duo, dynamic duo, aided by their cousin Celeborn, He is not actually related to them, but they're cousins in the grander world sense. Aided by Celeborn, they... Oh, blimey, O'Reilly, that's a massive army. Did we just get defeated by... It's been so long, I can't even remember what happened in the last episode. Was I pulling Haldir back so as to retrain my forces? Or was I... Did we get hounded by some great beasts, perchance? I can't actually remember. Here I am trying to give you an overview of what happened last time, and I can't remember for myself. Oh well, it is what it is. Let's end the turn and see how it goes from here. I'm hoping Mardash attacks us because, as I say, we've got a lot of Mordor at the moment in the wider YouTube area. There will still be the same number of videos this week, but the second Battle for Middle-earth video won't go up until Sunday, so that will be the change to the week, because the videos have all started one day later, and of course the live stream will be on Saturday. So the Battle for Middle-earth second episode, which will probably be the last episode of number 2 before we move on to the Rise of the Witch King, that'll go up on Sunday. So a bit of a delay to the schedule, but that's all right. Now, this is the point where we learn, should we have run away? Were we running away with great aplomb? I can't help but feel that maybe we were. I don't know, it's not particularly difficult army. Did I remember fighting against him, but was that the Ardenaim? That was the Ardenaim, wasn't it? So I don't know if we've hit Lagaran. We are woefully outnumbered. Dear oh dear, I didn't realise that. There's only 54 of them. 77, 44, 67. Yeah, we haven't really got anything. I think I was running away, you know. Balls to it. Hell to it. We'll take them. If we can bring down Lagaran, there's no threat. The Lokinas Rim and the trolls will give us grief, but we have very good archers, and trolls don't really trouble the elves, but the Lokinas Rim will. So I need to tinker with them. Tinker with them? What are we going to tinker with? We need to find some way to defeat them, but I think we should be okay. I think we'll be okay. Famous last words. It's been so long since the Woodland Realm. Well, I mean, it hasn't. It's only been the usual week's gap, but I suppose it's been about a week and a half, hasn't it? And in that time, there's just an awful lot gone on. My head hasn't been on YouTube for these past few days because of my... whilst we set up the army, I can just let you know that, of course, Jessica and I, as I've been mentioning on the channel a great many times, are getting married in July. And, of course, for those of you who are in England, you will know our plight. For those of you who aren't in England, we were set to be released from all coronavirus restrictions on the 21st of June, which would, of course, given us 4 full weeks until our wedding, or, in fact, 3 weeks and 5 days as it transpires. But of course, Boris Johnson yesterday, or 2 days ago for you, if you're watching this on the day it went up, he announced and saying we're not going to be released from coronavirus restrictions until the 19th of July, which is 2 days after our wedding. So, but fortunately for us, he's allowed weddings to go ahead with some restrictions in place, but generally speaking, they can go ahead unchanged, and so we are thrilled. But it has been a nervous few days, and we were worrying about either having to slash our guest list by 70% or postpone for probably 2 years in the future. Neither of which is ideal, of course. But fortunately, we have not had to make many changes. So it's been a nervous few days, but we've come out of it glistening and glowing and shining and smiling. So that's been good. But that contributed to part of the reason why I did not want to record on Monday. It took up much of my waking time on Monday, stressing about what we were going to do, or concerned about it. But then also on Monday, is that why we didn't fight Lagaran? Wasn't I going to fight one of these battles off screen so that it didn't happen again? Alrighty, welcome back. So, something in Lagaran's army is crashing the battle. So what I'm going to do is I've cheated to win the battle, but I'm going to pull away from Dor Norhak completely. I think that's a nice middle ground. So we don't know what the outcome of that battle would have been, so I'll try and take a neutral stance. So I've auto-won it so that at least the battle's dealt with, and hopefully we don't have that issue again if we run into Lagaran again, or whatever unit is causing that crash. Have we got enough room for this extra general? No. But if not, then I will just pull my army away, so it's as if we didn't win the battle anyway, so it's a sort of best of both worlds. Anyway, Mardash did attack, so this can be our chief focus. Dane's Halls. We've got Lynadan, who is the governor. Oh no, he's the fellow who's coming from behind, isn't he? Yes, and then King Thranduil and Legolas and Celeborn. I mean, it's going to be a win. It's going to be an easy win. But we have got some snow trolls. There's a ballista, a catapult, so they can do some damage if there are walls. Oh, they've got a lot of siege, actually. Some Black Shield warriors in there, though, and Black Shield warband. So there's some late-game Gundabad forces on show. And some Black Shield archers. They've got a lot of siege. I saved it a second ago, didn't I? So let's go straight in. Now that lagger and crash has happened, that does seem to ring a bell. I do think the last battle, the last episode for the Woodland Realm, I think we did get a lot of crashes, if memory serves now. And I think that might have been why I was moving away. Anywho, welcome to Dane's Halls. We didn't assault Dane's Halls, did we? We've been here before, but I don't think we assaulted it because... No, we didn't, because it would have been a terrible strategic decision. So outside of Dane's Halls is this intermittent fountain, which for engine reasons, for one reason or another, turns on and off every time you move the camera around. So if I stay here forever, that fountain will never stop running. But as soon as I start moving the camera, it pauses and waits for you to stop again. But otherwise, it's got these cool, unique sort of... I don't know what you'd call them. This unique architecture. It also has a unique gate, which is pretty cool. It doesn't just reuse the Moria gate from the base 3rd Age. I'm sure I've shown you Dane Halls before, but it's such a cool settlement, it's worth going over again. And then once you're inside, you get just this large chamber, which I like a lot. It puts the focus very much on the exterior and defending out here, and then if they do get up the ramp and into the gate and into the center, it turns into just one large choke point in your favor, and I really like that. I think that's a very good design. So what we're going to do, they almost certainly will break down that gate, but they're probably going to try and bring their siege up. So what I'm going to do is leave these 3 in reserve and have them stay indoors. So when the enemy comes through the gate, they're going to get pelted by the best that we've got. And speaking of best that we've got, we will also chuck in a couple more of these as well, just so that we've got a few more inside. So you guys are all going to stay in here and wait. You're not going to be used. Similarly, all of our melee forces will group together, including the javelins, stand your ground and wait inside. And then everyone else is going to make use of this settlement's unique deployment feature, which is this long wall that stretches out onto the exterior. Although, now that I've said that, it would appear that actually you can't use the wall, and if you're lucky enough to have your units already positioned on it, then count your lucky stars. Right, so they're going to start on that one. How many have we got? We've got around about 6-ish full companies. They're going to try and climb these stairs. I don't actually know where the entrance to this wall section is. I don't know where the troops come in and out. That's an interesting one, isn't it? Do you think they come in... They come out all the way over here, one wonders. Do you think maybe they come out of those doors there? Not really sure. Not really sure. Annoyingly, though, whilst you've got the little thin deployment strips that allow you to put people on the walls, you can't deploy up on this bit. You've got to run outside the gate if you want to go up there. But no, we can't go on that wall. But I am very much of the opinion, given where that green line is going, that they do filter out over here. Which is interesting to me. I'm going to try and get a couple of them out on the walls at least. So if you... So I'll group the 4 that... We'll only send 4 then. We'll only send 4. So for now, if all 4 of you start here, and then we'll run you out. And then the 3 remaining ones can join Team 2, and you can all stay indoors. So if you come and stand at the back there. Because I think, to be honest, if you don't put troops out on the walls, defending the... defending inside is the best bet. So one of you is going to go there. One of you is going to go next to them. As nice and wide as you can get. Perfect. Can I do that with 2, actually? Why would I do that with 1 if I can do that with 2? Ah, you can't get onto this one. Oh, you can. You just can't do it with 2 units selected. Right, there we are. You go nice and along there. And then you guys can go there. Let's see what they're like. And sprint while you're at it. Just because I've never even used those walls. It might be an absolutely terrible business decision. But we shall see. It may also not work. Oh no, they are off. And they do come out from here. That is amazing. If that actually works, that'll be brilliant. Right, defensive line then. Be defensive for a start. And then let's just build a nice little ring that our archers can make complete use of. So try and leave a bit of a gap. but put the primary defensive units in the lines. There we are. Our archers are off. We protect the elven lands. Those 44 are in a position already. And then we've got the warriors over here. Warriors, why don't you stand further back? No, that probably is the best bet, actually. Come and stand over here. You can help with the flanking on that side. Yeah, go and stand there. Right, now the person we want to be absolutely in the middle is Legolas. Because given a straight shot like that, he's going to make absolute mincemeat of anyone who comes through that door. And then his father stands to his left, and Celeborn of Lothlorien on the other side. And then we've got you guys in the back here, who we might as well just continue making the arch around the defenders. In line, archers. You can go behind them. You can go behind them. And then you two can come here, which puts some units in the square, which might make the enemy a little less inclined to just try and charge into the square. Oh, there goes all of our archers. I'm really hoping this is going to pay off and be productive and worthwhile, because otherwise it's just going to be a huge waste of time. Oh, the towers even fire on the enemy. That's amazing. If it could actually let you set up outside, it would be the best, the absolute best, and the most defensible city I think I've ever played. But as it stands, because you've got to run most of your forces out at the start, you lose a lot of time. But just having these towers on our side is going to be a dream. This is such a unique battle map. Such a unique battle map. The only thing, of course, that does let this down is that the enemy actually attacked us from this side of the mountain. But as you can see, this side of the mountain is just nothing. It's just the back of the mountain, which is a bit of a lore break. Not a lore break, per se. Not lore as in Lord of the Rings lore, but lore as in game logic. Because they've assaulted from the northern side of the mountain, and yet the game has put them on the southern side. And of course it has done that because it just simply has there's no approach from the northern side, so it's forced to course correct, as it were, and put them on the only side it can. Now, something you will note there is that the catapults are firing at us. I never would have expected that. They're trying to hit the archers on the walls, which is amazing. It's crazy how this battle is working without a hitch, touch wood. And the Mordor one is the one that crashed. That just makes no sense to me. But our towers are working absolute wonders on their siege. They've lost a catapult. They've now lost 2 ballistae. The ladders and the towers have all been put down. Quite a few people have died. 12% of the enemy has died, but one lucky catapult shot has made it through somewhere. They won the lottery. Or is it a ballista crew? Oh, I think it's ballista bolts. If it's on that side. But our archers are getting some shots off, aren't they? Or are you just doing useless arcing shots over and over and over? Yep, you're pretty much doing useless arcing shots over and over and over. Oh, and I've accidentally just ungrouped you. Let's put them all into a stop mode formation. No, yeah, look, they're just not shooting anything. So having them on the walls turns the towers on. So note to self in the future, put units you don't care about out here, so at least the towers get turned on, if you'll pardon the parlance. But don't bother with putting units out there because it doesn't do anything. But because we're safe in terms of running back, until the enemy gets to the gates, they can't actually get us. So we'll wait until the battering ram makes it up to the slope, and then we'll run the archers and everything back. Because at the moment they're not doing anything. They are just facilitating the use of the towers. We've gone up to 18%, but no, I think I might just run away now. I think I will just run away now. Force them into shift 1 then, and if you could all come and sprint to the back here, because you have got a fair old journey to go. But it will turn the towers off, sadly, so they will stop raining death down upon our enemy. And the battering ram is still on the stairs at the moment, so they haven't made much ground. But they will break through. The problem that the AI has is that it knows it needs to bring the siege, so the battering ram is brought forth, and they bring it right to the fore. But all of the other troops that need to then run in immediately after the battering ram usually take a little while to do that. Why was that ballista crew just shooting at us? Whoa, hold up. What's going on here? Oh, our general reinforcement has come in from behind and is hitting the siege. Oh, Dáin, you're definitely going to die. I'm not running out there to help you. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yep, he's absolutely going to die. Go aggressive, sod it. Try and kill what you can. Hopefully you'll be alive. You'll stay alive. Oh, and the horse archers that he's brought with him have all routed. perfect. But our archers have made it back, and they've beaten the enemy battering ram.
Down the gates.
That's what we wanted to see. So wait till everyone's in place. Most of the archers are back.
The enemy's ram is through our gates. The walls are no longer ours. The enemy have taken them.
You may all now fire at will. Oh, did you see that? Did you just witness that? Legolas just absolutely shredded the unit that came through the door. And the Silverthorn arrows whistle into the Blackshield warriors. They do not stand up to the Silverthorn arrows. But annoyingly, my shield wall gap again is not big enough, and they've just run straight through the gap. So we just need to shut them down and stop them getting through. Archers of Mirkwood, archers of Mirkwood. Target whatever you like, but primarily target things that are coming through that middle door. You might as well charge in and help. Come out of defensive mode. If you can hit those snow trolls. The trolls are going to be a bit of a problem, but the rest of the army I think is going to die in this huge area, this large gathering that they've been forced to adopt, which is just going to definitely see their death. We have so many archers with such perfect lines of sight, I should say. Why aren't you guys firing? What's your problem over there? Come on, get involved. Turn around. Or stop if it helps you then. Why are they just not doing anything? Do you still have someone on the wall? Oh, there he is. Just making his way out. You've come out at the wrong time there, chaps. Yeah, they had a few more people on the wall, which means they're going to get caught in melee.
The enemy force remains.
Right, the big problem once again is going to be the trolls, but we do not want to waste Legolas on trolls. It's not good to use him on single targets, or the closest thing we've got to single target entities. We need to use him on masses like this, like that blob over there is a dream. Legolas, if you can shoot into all of that. Give us a swiftness just to make all the elves a bit stronger. But remember, Legolas's arrows pierce multiple enemies at once. That's how he racks up the ridiculous numbers we've seen in this campaign. But Gundabad are going to be really hard pressed to move us out of Dane's halls. This battle map is so favourable to an elven archer army. Look at the numbers of the dead on the field. So many snow orcs. We've come along. The snow orcs kicked us about a bit, and within a matter of seasons, not even years, but seasons, we have turned the tide so readily on them that from their point of view, they must be filing paperwork with the Court of Human Rights about the genocide that is being committed upon their people. The trolls have moved over to attack the last of our Maithori Thewar, who we unfortunately are going to offer up as a sacrifice. What are you up to now? 75%. Oh, that's so much. Right, every archer we've got, target them. Maithor, if you can, try and run out. Let's see if everyone actually obeyed my commands. Oh, yes, they did. That is a lot of arrows. Oh, the snow trolls don't like that. They do not. We lost all the Maithor, but I think it was worth it. Look at the hellfire falling upon the snow trolls. The last one moved forward, and he's cut down in his prime. And everyone is now free to fire at will. Target what you like. This battle is over. Unfortunately, because we are Woodland Realm elves, though, we have pretty terrible melee forces in the early stages. The Maithor are actually really good, and arguably one of our best units from throughout the entire campaign. They are very useful units. And our elite units are fantastic, but the early tier Woodland melee units just don't have as much of a punch as the archers do. And that's obviously by design, and I stand by it. But it can mean that in situations like this, where our archers have basically lost no one, and we've got 75% archers. Look at the rain of arrow fire even now. It's so enjoyable to watch. I'll just never get bored of seeing this from Elven arrow fire. It's such a fantastic outcome.
Men have slain the enemy general.
Mardash has died, the last of his forces try and run, and now we've got to deal with the siege, though, annoyingly, which has stayed out here, manning all of their different machines, and we either now need to wait out the clock, which has ages to go, or we send someone out there on a suicidal trip to try and finish this siege units off. If we send out all of our archers, which would make short work of them, we risk losing our archers. Oh, but I'll tell you something we could do. No, because they don't fire, do they? I was just thinking, if we move Celeborn and Thranduil out, the towers will turn on and it will just be a slow defeat for our enemy. We've got a siege crew there that doesn't even have any siege weapons left, but they are not coming in to try and kill us. Catapult over there's down. It's just, if we move anyone out, they're just going to be a sitting duck for the enemy. I tell you what, let's charge out our archers. What the hell? Get them out both sides. Go and start firing on the enemy. We've recaptured the gate. We should be seeing people come through any second now. Oh, there's an enemy there. Did you see that? Little red dot. Oh yeah, there he is. Having a whale of a time. Right, out we go. Let's try and get our forces out onto the walls then. Am I on time 6? Yes, we are. Ah, you guys stopped. You guys decided, no, I will not go onto the walls. The walls are not for me. Can you really not come out onto the walls? The other guys are still running, apparently. Are you actually running? Or are you having me on? No, they're making their way through the mountains as we speak. Yeah, here they come. Perfect. Right, the enemy is immediately turning to try and meet you, and the towers have turned back on. Fantastic work. So, if you would be so kind as to just shoot them. Oh, perfect. They shoot if you tell them to shoot. Alright, let's try and just endure a few shots from them. And on the other side, yes, they stream out. This is such a cool feature. Why is this not used more? I've never really defended Dane's halls. I've never had the pleasure, but this has been fantastic. And you guys on that side as well. Oh, another catapult falls. The ballista crews are thinning. Arrow fire whistling in on them. Another ballista goes down. They no longer have enough crew to even operate their machines. Right, with the safety that's provided, let's send Legolas out to kill them. Legolas is actually a really good early tier killer. He's got the arrows for it, and he's definitely got the melee for it. He's fantastic in melee in the early game. In the late game, his massive lack of armor really lets him down. And because I really hate it when YouTubers talk about a thing expecting that you know what they're talking about, I'm going to show you what I mean. He has 15 melee attack, which is fantastic. But 15 defense on the converse isn't actually all that great. So a 15 attack is normally accompanied by a defense in the range of about 25 to 32, something around there. So he's a glass cannon, essentially, a late game glass cannon, and you have to use him as such. But our enemy has actually run away, so we don't need to worry. Just in time for Caligat to come in and ring her bell and ruin everything about the recording.
Utterly vanquished. This is a great
classic victory.
Worthy of only the mightiest of generals.
Now, Linadan did die, and we sent him up here specifically to become the governor of this place, which is quite disappointing. He also brought a number of troops and lost every single one of them. So that's less great, considering we really needed those melee reinforcements. And in many ways, I should actually have not used Linadan. I don't know why I didn't turn him off. It's because I wasn't thinking again. I just was not. My brain wasn't in it, because I would just come back from that crash. Very annoying indeed. But anyway, so we've lost Linadan and some reinforcements, but as we've seen, Gundabad are never taking us out of Dane's halls with the army we've got here. They'd need an army of trolls. If they went full cheese and just went full trolls, 20 snow trolls in one army, we captured only one man. I think they'd be all right, but as it stands, they don't have a hope. They don't have a hope. Oh wow, look at that. We've got 43,000 gold coins. When did we get so many gold coins? Right, so as I say, I haven't done it yet because we hadn't had an opportunity to end the turn. I am going to run away as if we never claimed Dorn or Hack. I won't destroy any buildings. I'll just let Mordor take it back. And hopefully we can work out why Lagaran is crashing our game. I just don't know what it is. And the army will return to Adrian. That gives us more time to focus down on Gundabad in the north. But speaking of Gundabad in the north, oh, look, we brought 3 units that I don't have anything of. Oh no, I can take that 1 unit of that. But all these reinforcements we were hoping to bring, and it's turned out to be nothing. With aboard the governor there, Aranethan. Aranethan, build yourself a militia garrison, just because Gundabad is still knocking around. And we just don't want anything coming from them. Thranduil's Halls can give us some Lorien scouts. 2 of those, yes please. I will take the low tier melee. I know I just crapped all over our low tier melee. But we need something. We need governance. We need garrison forces. So these troops are going to be required. And do we have an excess general anywhere who wants to ride north and this time not die? We must have someone somewhere. We have an overabundance of generals. This is the first campaign I think I've ever played where I have a general governing almost every single city. That's most unlike me.
Elves,
So how did it pull back there? Oh, am I toggled fog of war still? No, we just own this region and I've built towers all over it. Of course, I did wonder why I had such wonderful sight range. That seemed like it shouldn't be there. But of course, it's because of all the towers. Are you slowly turning Elven? 9%, nice to see. That should bring down the hatred for us here. At the moment, Varnafinden is holding back all that hatred. He's convincing all of the orcs, the 15,000 orcs currently being governed by about 50 elves, that it is not in their best interest to rise up and massacre their overlords, and that they should keep tilling those fields and repairing those walls. And he's a master smith with the words, so he's keeping them at bay. But for now, that is probably going to end today's episode, actually. Yeah, I think that'll do us quite nicely. A good little place to stop. So, please, as a recap, let me know if you think the microphone sounds off or anything, because it's always helpful to have the feedback from the masses. So do let me know about that. And also, please do comment or like comments that support your viewpoint on whether or not, once Gundabad is dead, should we call the campaign to an end so that we don't fight Mordor in 2 campaigns. There isn't really another enemy for us in this one. Moria, arguably, but Moria, we don't need to deal with Moria. Someone else would deal with them. Of course, in order for us to actually win the campaign, we have to take Mordor. So please also feel free to suggest alternatives. So if you would rather we just, I don't know, delete Mordor through cheating and then focus on Moria or Arun maybe, see who takes over their place so that we can carry the campaign on. I'm open to suggestions like that. I'm thoroughly enjoying playing as the Woodland Realm, so I am happy to continue it. I'm just a little on the fence about making Mordor our primary enemy in 2 campaigns. I just think that's a bit overkill. So do let me know your thoughts. And until we speak again, dear friends, Navarne den Peramad Melonin, and farewell.